Awesome. Hello, everybody. Hope you are good. I hope you're ready just to chill out for the next 45 minutes. Full body stretch. That is us today. No pressure, no specifics, just full mobility, yoga, chill, breathe. If you need to take an extra nap, please do it. Hello, hello, hello. We've got more people joining us. Lovely stuff. The playlist is in the chat if anyone needs it. So do click that. And if you do want to grab yourself a block or a cushion or a little strap or a little dressing gown thing, I never know what they're called, then feel free to grab those now. And we shall get going. Press play on your playlist when you're ready, team. And we are just going to start actually cross-legged. Now you might be a bit more comfortable if you have a block or a cushion and you want to put that underneath your bums, then feel free to kind of sit up a little bit taller with that. And also if cross legs just not feeling good today, then feel free to just let those legs go out long or to the side, whatever you fancy. We're just going to start for a few mins, just chilling out up here, sitting down. When you're ready, close the eyes. And let's just take a few mins to get going, chilling out, melting from that. So just start by breathing naturally. There's no how you're doing, how you're feeling, how you're breathing. Arms can be however is most comfortable. Just start to notice those shoulders. So just let them lower down, come a little bit further away from the ears. Good. And feel free to move if you need to wiggle around or something isn't quite feeling comfortable. There's no need to stay still right now. As we are sitting here now, starting to deepen your breath in. And as you breathe out, maybe let those shoulders soften a bit more, maybe the hands just falling into the lap. A little bit more time here. Really focus on slowing down that breath in and taking an even slower breath out. Just by 1 or 2 seconds, trying to tap into that focused, chilled out, relaxed side of our nervous system. Just really getting us in the zone. Letting go of everything else that's happened this whole week. Good. We're going to take a few deep breaths together. So when you are ready, your next breath in, just going for 4 seconds. Breathing in 4, 3, 2, 1. Going back out for the same 4, 3, 2, 1. In again for 4, 3, 2, 1. This time out for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In for 4, 3, 2, 1. Out for 5, 4, 3, 2. Last in 4, 3, 2, 1. Pausing here. Out for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Let's start to lift those shoulders up as you breathe in next time. Take them all the way up close to the ears and then roll them back and down. 2 more just like that. Breathing in to lift the shoulders as high as you can, almost like you're scrunching them up by the neck. Exhale, let them come back and down. Breathing in to lift them all the way up. And all the way down. Taking it the opposite way now. So lift them back up to the top, breathing in. As you breathe out, roll those shoulders forwards. Try and get a bit of a stretch to those shoulder blades at the back. 2 more, breathing in to lift them up. And out, come down. Last one, breathing in to lift up. And out to come down. Give the shoulders a bit of a wiggle. Let's take a neck stretch. Let your chin come down to the chest. Just for a moment, see if you can get a bit of a stretch through the upper and middle of the back. Maybe draw your chin slightly further down, let the shoulders soften. And then taking your right ear towards the right shoulder, stretch open through that left side of the neck. Turning the chin up to face the top, now rotating the head back. And then coming down, so left ear, left shoulder. Chin all the way to the chest, going the opposite way. Starting with the chin at the chest, left ear, left shoulder. Taking it slow, start to reach that chin up to the top, stretch through the throat, and then all the way over to the other side, right ear coming down, chin towards the chest. Good, just pausing here. Now, if you do have your legs crossed, we're just going to change that crossover so that front foot comes back behind. You know, maybe it feels a little bit funky, that is a-okay. And then we'll take those neck stretches one more time. So starting to chest. Just take a moment, you feel that stretch across the back of the neck, maybe the upper back. Slowly turning your right ear towards the shoulder. Gently bringing that chin up to the top. Over to this left side. And all the way down. Pause for a moment when you get to the bottom, and then go the opposite way. So starting on that left side. Bring your chin all the way up to the top. Nice big stretch. Good. And then over to the side. Slowly bringing it down. Good stuff. Okay, from here, just let your head come back up gently to the top. Give the shoulders a wiggle, maybe your neck a little bit of a shake. Nice. And then if you are sitting up on a block or a cushion, take that out from underneath you. Sitting back down onto our bottoms, moving into a small twist. So if you do need to bring those legs further forward, if that's more comfortable, then feel free to do so. Keeping that unusual interlace of the feet for a moment, we'll move back into the normal one, if you want to say that in a second. Bringing your left hand over to your right knee, bring your right fingertips behind you. Just take a big breath in as you lift up, slightly turned over to this right side. And then as you breathe out, turning towards the back. Might get some clicks and clunks through the spine here. You might feel like you're just about to get them and they don't come, but that's okay. As you breathe, just see if you can rotate the chest that slightly bit further. Gazing over this back shoulder. Slowly coming back to the front, turning the chest to face the front and then switching the hands over. So right hand over to this left knee, left hand going behind you or just fingertips maybe. Breathing in with that slight rotation. As you breathe out, sorry, taking it further. Turning your gaze towards this left shoulder. Reaching the body around as far as you can. Breathing down towards the tummy. Still with that slow breath. change those legs over. So front foot comes back, coming into your more usual cross-legged position. Taking those twists one more time with this changed leg position. So left hand over this right knee. Chest on your breath in. Twist. Turning into it, using the breath to go a bit deeper when we can. One more breath here. Gently coming back to the front, we'll switch behind you. Excuse me, behind you. Turning around, gently turning, twisting, rotating. And slowly coming back to the front. Let's just bring both hands onto our knees. Start to press into those knees as you kind of curl through the spine, tuck your chin through the chest. Pressing your hands into your legs as you roll, curl up through the back. Next breath in, keep those hands on the knees, start to lift through the chest forward. It's almost like we're drawing our knees back as we press the chest out in front. Like seated cat cow, chest down, bend those elbows, curling up, drawing the belly button in, breathing in to lift up, open the chest, roll the shoulders back. Good, rolling forwards, curl up, last time. And breathe in, lift the chest, stay proud, open up. Good, let go of those hands, give the shoulders a shake. And then sending your right leg out long. So it's left foot staying kind of where it was before, onto the inside of this thigh. Good. We're going to take a side stretch before we do anything else. So breathing in, start to turn your upper body towards that right foot. Lift the arms overhead. As you breathe out, send those arms forwards. Doesn't matter where they get to, whether it's shin, ankles, or toes. Just going to draw this chest down closer towards the knee. I know some of you have straps nearby. We're just going to use the hands for the moment because we're not trying to get too deep a stretch right now. Keeping your right hand where it is, start to lift this left arm up and lengthen it away. So we're getting a nice deep stretch towards the left side of the waist, like you're tilting the chest open. Good, nice work. We're going to lift our body back up to the top. Bring the left hand down, or maybe your forearm, and then stretch this right arm back. So keep keeping both seat bones on the mat, and they're going to come back and forth a few times. So now coming back all the way over towards this right foot. Keep this right hand down, keep the left arm lifted. Stretch into that left side of the waist a little bit more. And then come all the way back up. Switching the arms, the right arm goes out, left hand to the mat. Good, last one, bring it all the way forwards. Left arm, getting that nice deep stretch on the sides of the body. Right arm overhead, left hand down. Good, this time curling the body forwards. Just walking your fingertips out in front of you, directly in front of those hips rather than towards the right foot. Still keeping both seat bones on the mat, just feel that slight forward fold. And slowly curl the body up to seated. Good, let's switch over. So left leg going out, right foot coming into the middle, onto your thigh, sorry. And then we'll take that first stretch forward as we did before. So breathing in to lift the arms up. Breathing out to send them out long, whether you hold on to shin, ankles, or toes. We don't have to really grip with those hands right now. We're just gently stretching forwards rather than drawing ourselves too far down. Trying to keep some length through the spine rather than round the shoulders. Breathing slow, feel that stretch. Where do you notice it? Is it the leg? Is it the back? Is it the sides? Good. Can we rotate it out? So keeping your left hand where it is. Lift this right arm up, lengthen it away. Good. Slowly bring yourself all the way up. Right hand or maybe your forearm down to the mat. The left arm reaches across. Both seat bones still staying down. No tendency to try and lift up this left side otherwise. Good. Come all the way back through. Left hand going towards the left toes, right arm overhead. Nice. Bring it back to the top. Right hand down, left arm lifts. So every time we exhale, we can get a little bit deeper. Just that natural sensation of the body to relax a little bit more as we breathe out slowly. Last time, bringing yourself all the way forward. Arm lifts. One long line between those right fingers and that right hip. And bring it up and over. Right fingertips down, left arm reach. Good. Slowly curl the body forward just like we did before. Fingertips reaching ahead of us. And slowly bringing yourself up to seated. Good. Let's take a straddle stretch. Send that right leg out long. Doesn't matter how far apart your feet are, whether they're mat width or about block width or anything. We're just going to stretch the inside of these thighs for now. So flex the toes, but we're drawing back towards you. So we're still using and activating the leg. Just again, keep both now gently creeping down one side, just showing you those slight breathing slow. Gently bringing yourself back up to the top side of the leg. Out left and right. I think a few of you have frozen, but I hope that I think we're okay. I hope we're okay. Cool. Okay. Can you hear me? Oh no. Okay, it keeps freezing. Well, hopefully we'll hear me. No. Okay. If you're in your straddle stretch, come out of that now. I'm going to keep this chat up the top so I can see it. And then we're going to come into a bit of hip mobility because we all love it. So bringing your knees in. Just let those hips go side to side for a moment, ease off. Okay, folks. Yes, I can see some of you moving now, that's better. Thank you. And then letting both legs go over to this left side, bring this right foot towards your bottoms, left foot towards the top or towards the knee on this right side. Now from here, bringing your arms out in front. And just forwards and trying to straighten. We're going to do that 4 times on this roll your way over to that slow. Okay. Okay, are we back? I can see your faces, and that makes me happy. I'm sorry. Wi-Fi is not happy with me. Right, we'll start again on this right side hip mobility. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. Yay, we're back. Awesome. Okay. If you did not already have your legs in this position, please bring both knees over to the left side. Your right foot coming closer to your bottom, your left foot touching this knee or this right thigh. Arms out in front, not too much energy through those fingers, just kind of soft arms. And start to transition that weight over towards your left hip. Slowly start to pick up that right foot from the floor, and then we're going to stretch the leg forwards. Quite a lot of movement through this left hip, right hip even. And then slowly bring it back and come all the way back down to where you just were. Okay, we're going to do 4 more of those. So slowly bring yourself forwards, stretch that foot out in front. You may get some clicks and clunks, and then bring it back. Trying to keep this upper body as upright as you can through this motion. When you're ready, start to lift. Nice. Slowly bring it back with control. 2 more, bring it all the way forwards, gently lifting up, lengthening forwards. Nice strong core as well, bring it back. Good, 1 more. Slowly bring it forward, stretch those toes away. And then knee coming in. Good, okay, just let those arms shake out for a moment. We'll switch the legs over, so bring the knees up. Give them a little shake out side to side if you wish. And then over to the other side. So the knees coming over to the right, left foot or left heel, sorry, coming close to your bottoms, right foot close to the inside of your thigh. Again, bring those arms out in front of you, just soft with the arms, just to help you balance a little bit more. If you feel like you'd rather have the hand somewhere else, whether it's up tall or on the mat, feel free to do that too. When you are ready, transitioning that weight over to this right side, slowly lifting up this left leg, send it all the way forwards. And then bring it back to where you were. Good, coming back up for 4 more. Maybe you got some clicks and clunks last time and not this time. If that is you, that is definitely me. You may have one side that might need some more attention. Send that foot forwards for the 3rd time. Slowly bring it back. Good, we have 2 more. Gently with control, send that foot away. And bring it back. Nice, last one. Bring that hip forwards. Toes pointing away from you. And then bring it back around. Good, roll back onto those seat bones. Shake the arms out, give them a little wiggle. And bring those legs back up to the top. Okay, now we have worked into those hips a little bit. We're going to come into a boat pose. So plant your feet down on the mat to start with. Hands coming behind your knees. Just glide them in that little pocket behind the knees. Slowly leaning back, not too much here. See if we can lift those feet off the mat. Now, if this is already too much, we're just going to toe tap. If you can, we're going to hold those shins so they're parallel to the mat, and then maybe let go with the hands. Now, I know we are stretching and lengthening out today, but we're also just going to work on that core a little bit. So take a deep breath, holding here just for 3 more breaths. Take it slow. Last breath in. Stay lifted with the chest, roll those shoulders back. And then crossing your legs over in front of you, bring those hands down ahead, rolling yourself onto all fours, bringing your knees underneath your hips, hands underneath your shoulders. Have a little wiggle out, rock side to side. Moving into our cat-cows. We've already done some work through the shoulders, through the neck, through the hips. So we're just going to enjoy this little fluid movement. Slowly bring the tummy down, roll those shoulders back, the chest forwards, easing ahead of you. When you can, start to roll those shoulders up. Lift through the tummy, tuck your chin towards your chest, press the mat away. 2 more as you breathe in this time, rolling forwards, open the front of the body. As you breathe out, curling, lifting up. Nice. Last one, breathing in to roll forwards. Breathing out to curl and lift. Coming back down to that neutral space, give the shoulders a shake, maybe your head, and then sending your right leg out behind you. So we're going to hold that right leg so that it's in line with the rest of our torso. We're just sending the heel away, really press back into that heel. So we've got lots of activation, lots of energy through that right leg. When you can, send this left arm out in front of you. We've got a nice diagonal reach going on. Pausing here. Keep pressing down into that right hand, staying lifted through the chest, reaching at both ends of the body. Bringing your left hand back down to the mat. Let that right foot come down, but in its place at the moment. So we're leaning it back, almost like we're stepping back straight away. Good. And then press back into that heel. So nice stretch through the calf. And think about really pressing into your hands as well. Maybe you need to walk them a bit further forwards. You've got a nice deep calf stretch. Stay soft through those shoulders. Try not to let any tension build up through the face. Still breathing into it. Slowly bring this right leg forwards. We're going to pop that foot to the outside of the right hand. Maybe wiggle it further forwards if you need. Keep those hands down. Just take a deep breath in here to lift through the chest. As you breathe out, see if you can just draw your chest a little bit further down. Maybe you can bend further into the elbows. Enjoy a nice stretch through those hips, maybe the back of the right thigh. And as always, movement is absolutely allowed. So if you need to wiggle or rock side to side, feel free to do that if that feels good. Let the chest soften down a little bit more. And slowly lifting back onto your straight or through those straight arms. Wiggle this right foot into the middle of your mat. Bring this right hand around. So we're framing the right foot. And then sending your hips back. Straightening through this right leg. Lifting up your toes into a lovely half splits. As you breathe in, slight lift through the chest. As you breathe out, fold forwards. Holding here. Lovely deep stretch into those hamstrings. Good, start to make your way forwards. Hands frame this right foot. And then just step it back into your all fours position. Maybe you need to wiggle the hands and knees back so they're underneath shoulders and hips. Good, feel free to wiggle out if you need to have a little shake. And then we'll take things straight onto the other side. So left leg reaching back behind you. Reach that heel away, stay lifted through the chest. Just focus on this left leg for a moment. Make sure it's level with the rest of you. Putting some more weight through that left hand. Slowly reach this right arm away. Nice diagonal hold. Using that core strength. Getting some stability and balance through our left hand and our right knee. Reaching, reaching, reaching through both ends of the body. Like you're growing taller. And you're rooting yourself down at the same time. Good stuff. One more deep breath. And release. Right hand coming down, left foot stepping back, pressing into the ball of the foot, reach back through that heel. If you did before, feel free to walk your hands further forwards, getting a lovely, lovely stretch through the calf. I'm sure a lot of you had some long runs this weekend and we need this. Awesome hill work. Wow. Couple more breaths here. See if you can take it a little bit further. Slowly bringing that foot forwards, planting it to the outside edge of the hands. Wiggle further forwards if you need to walk it further. And then into our lovely, lovely stretch through these hips. Breathing in to lift your chest. Start to open up the top, maybe come onto your fingertips. As you breathe out, just sink the chest down, maybe bend on the elbows, maybe even come onto forearms if you wish, or you can pop a little block underneath your arms here if that's more comfortable. As before, feel free to move, wiggle, sway, whatever feels good. One more deep breath. Can you soften down, relax into it? Get a little bit more release. Making your way back onto those hands if you're not there at the moment. Heel toe the foot into the middle of the mat, bring the fingertips around and send those hips back. Stretching into the back of our left thigh, reach those toes up, send the chest forwards. Breathe in slow. Nice. Very good stuff. One more breath. Making your way forwards, hands coming down around this left foot. Tucking your right toes this time, we're going to step our left foot back into a high plank and then lift up our hips into a downward facing dog. So that little upside down V shape. Pedal those legs out. Have a rock left and right. Really grounding down or pressing down into your mat with those fingertips. So we often let the thumbs and the first fingers lift through this down dog. We want them to help us hold on to the down dog, to send the chest through that little bit more. Hips going as high as you can. Doesn't matter if knees are bent or straight. Good. Okay, holding this down dog for a little bit longer. I'm just going to see how you all are doing. Awesome stuff. Well done, team. Epic, epic, epic. Okay, let's take this into our sun salutations. So when you are ready, taking your gaze towards those hands, lifting up onto your tiptoes, and just take some small steps towards the hands at the top. When you get there, breathing in to lift our chest up halfway, fingertips to your shins. Breathing out to fold back down. Next, inhale, a small bend through those knees as you all up to standing. Take those arms up above your head. And then exhale, swan dive, arms out to the side, chest falling down, fingertips down to the mat. One more breath in to lift up halfway. Good, exhale, slowly bring it down, fingertips to the mat, stepping back into a high plank. Coming through a vinyasa today, so if you feel like taking a full one, feel free. If you would like to start with your knees down first, that is totally what I will be doing. Bring the chest down to the mat. On your breath in, take a big roll of the shoulders, lift through the chest. Exhale as you tuck those toes. Send the hips back towards the heels and then lift up into your down dog. Now we've got 3 more of these, so you can absolutely take whichever options work for you. Lifting up onto those toes again, gaze towards the fingers, start to take those small steps, feet towards the hands. Breathing in to lift and roll the shoulders. Breathing out to fold forwards. Good, gentle bend through those knees, start to roll your way up to standing. Lifting all the way to the top, arms coming above us, gaze up to meet those fingertips. Exhale, folding forwards and down, swan dive, let the chest lead. Inhale, lift halfway, fingers to your shin. Exhale to fold. Hands to the mat, step back into your high plank. Lowering down either through your knees first, or if you wish through a chaturanga, so that just means we're lowering straight to halfway. Then into your cobra as you did before, maybe an up dog this time. Tops of the feet on the mat, chest open. Good, exhale, lift up to your downward facing dog. Have a moment here, see if you can press back into those hips, a little bit more length. 2 more to go, gaze forwards to the hands, come up onto your tiptoes. Maybe walking the feet, maybe jumping the feet, up to you. However you want to get the feet to the top. Breathe in, lift halfway, nice. Exhale, fold. So each time, just getting a little bit more length through those legs. Breathing in to lift up to standing, all the way to the top. Arms to the top, gazing up. Exhale, fold forwards and down, let the chest lead. Fingertips up towards your shins, roll those shoulders back. Exhale, hands plant down, maybe jump the feet back, maybe step them into a high plank. Good, take it down, knees first, or straight through that chaturanga, it's completely up to you. Maybe see how much energy you've got today, maybe you're just not feeling one way and you want to do it the other way. That is perfect, the perfect reason. Meeting in our down dog for our final one. Gaze toward those fingertips, lift up onto those toes, walk, step or jump the feet forwards. Breathe in to lift up, roll the shoulders back. Exhale, sink deeper into this lovely, lovely fold. Breathing in to lift all the way up to standing. Lifting your arms up to the top. Good, this time we're going to come into a chair instead of coming all the way back down through our fold. So start to bend through the knees, sink the bottoms low, keep those arms lifted, chest proud. Start to wiggle those toes so you've got the weight through the heels. Good, and we'll see that our fingers start wiggling as well. That's okay. Slowly sending your fingertips down, straighten through those legs. Now we come into that fold. Let's just hold on to opposite elbow. Rock left and right. Have a little sway side to side. I'm going to come up and do that chair into our fold one more time. When you're ready, releasing opposite elbows, start to lift your way up to standing. Give your shoulders a big roll back. Good, breathe in to lift your arms up. Sorry, I realize you can't see my face. Exhale to sink low into our chair. Toes lifting off the mat a little bit, wiggle them. Chest proud, squeezing through the thighs, breathe. Keep those smiles even through our chair poses. Just take a moment, one more breath. And we fold forwards, this time holding on to our legs. So wrapping your arms around your legs, your thighs, your knees. Maybe take a little bend through those knees so you can really draw the tummy in. Give yourself a big squeeze, a big cuddle. And we'll let go, let the hands come down in front. Bringing yourself all the way onto the mat. So bend through the knees. Oh, sorry, some cracky knees on my part. Untuck your toes, come to kneeling. Let everything shake out. Good, and then just bring your bottoms down to one side. Legs out in front. Bringing your arms ahead of you. Slowly rolling your backs down. So we're gently bringing our spines onto the mat. Shoulders and head lowering last. When you get there, just rocking your legs side to side, window wipe through those knees. Taking a moment here just to feel our weights on the mat from all that standing work. Good. Now here is where we may want to grab a strap or belt or anything. If you do want to grab it, feel free to do it now. You'll let your left leg go out long. If you have the strap, wrapping it around your right foot and then stretching that right leg up towards the top. So we're just holding on to those straps for the moment. We're going to start by taking our right foot out to the right side. So popping your left hand onto the left hip, trying to keep your hips both down to the mat as you gently take that foot out to the right. Now again, this may not be too far. You might just get a little way from straight, and then you're like, nope, that is enough for me. That's perfect. Wherever you need to go to today. Good. Breathing here. You might feel like that left side starts to tense up or something. If anything feels uncomfortable, please ease off. Slowly lifting your right leg back up to the top, taking it over to the other side. So this time our right leg is going over to that left side. Taking your right hand, if you can, out to the side and gazing over the shoulder. Maybe you just need to cactus the elbow, sort of bending it at 90 degrees. And again, doesn't matter where you get to with this right foot. It can be all the way onto the floor. It can just be off of center. We should be feeling a stretch to the outside of the thigh, maybe in towards those glutes. Nice. Slowly bring that foot back to the top. And then bending through your knee, take that strap off of around the foot. We'll switch over to the other side. So left foot coming in, wrapping your strap. Or if you don't have a strap, feel free to use your hands around the foot. First of all, opening that leg out to the left side. So maybe using your right hand to make sure this right hip stays on the mat. Gently letting the leg just fall out to the side. Good stuff. Breathing slow. These ones, we're relying on the mat, opening out like this. Really benefit from that slow breath and trying to focus onto the exhale to release and soften into our muscles. So do bring all of your focus there. When you're ready, start to lift that left leg back through center, and then we'll take it across the right side. Again, just gently to wherever you need it to go, taking your gaze over the left shoulder. If you can, trying to keep both shoulders onto the mat. So we're trying not to lift this whole left side of the body, but twist. Get that lovely release. 2 more slow breaths. Absolutely awesome, everybody. Well done. And we'll lift that leg back up to the top. Release that strap from underneath the foot. Just hugging both knees in, wrap your arms around your shins, give yourself a big rock left and right. Good stuff. Squeezing your knees in that little bit tighter, maybe drawing your forehead up to meet the knees. We are going to finish up here today. Of course, if you have any other stretches that you wish to do, please do them. Anything that you want to just stretch out, have a bit more time to release. If you would like to rest down for the next couple minutes, just into our Shavasana for a few moments of stillness. Come to a comfortable position. Now that can be anything. Your legs can be out in front. Maybe they're bent, feet flat on the mat. Or maybe the soles of your feet together and the knees are out to the side. Arms again, however is most comfortable for you. And just close those eyes down. Give yourself these few moments to sink into the mat. No tension anywhere. Breathe steady. Let your mind just release any other thoughts. And breathe. If you did want to stay here any longer, feel free to just ignore me, just mute me or turn me off, or just do nothing and stay as you are. If you are ready to start getting up and moving the body again, and maybe start to wiggle through fingers and toes, roll wrists and ankles, let your head gently rock left and right. Let's take a full body stretch, reaching those arms back behind you, pointing your toes forward. Feel a lovely lift through the chest as you breathe in. Exhale, bring those knees back in towards you. Big squeeze as you wrap your arms around the shins. Maybe curling up into that tight ball as you did a moment ago. When you're ready, keeping your eyes closed or at a soft gaze, make your way up to seated, however you want to come up. Whatever is the most comfortable seated position for you. Just let your hands fall into the lap. Shoulders rolling back and down, crown of the head growing tall. Take a lovely, lovely breath in. Exhale just to sink down, grounding through all parts of the body, touching the mat. Put a big smile on your face. Give yourself a huge well done for everything you've done this week, especially the last 45 minutes. Thank you very, very much, everybody. That was chilled. I hope you are feeling good. Probably tired. That's okay. You can go to bed soon. But have a lovely Christmas if I do not speak or see you before, because this is the last stretch yoga of 2021. Woo-hoo. I'll stop the recording. Thank you so much, everybody.